Hey you all, it is Dreamy, and today I wrote down all of your all's questions that some of you all have been putting into my comments, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to go over them. I don't want to make this like too quick, too long. So if you all want like a fuller, like a video solely on one of these questions that get asked, then just comment it down below. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. The first question that I got is any tips for older women, which, you know, I saw a tweet the other day saying, what did it say? It was like how to get into porn, and then the answer was just have a body and make porn. So I don't really have any tips for older women. One, because I think that's like a perspective thing. And also, I think that if you are someone who is existing as a human being who wants to get into this industry, wait, hold on. Booger, come on. I don't know, I just don't have that perspective. You'll probably have to go find a adult content creator or a sex worker who is older in age and see what their experience is within that. I'm 30 years old, so I'm not like super young, but like I obviously don't consider myself old. So I don't think that age is like a huge defining thing. I think that there is a community for everybody. I think that you can restart and you can like start over with your life at any time that you want. And if this is something that you're wanting to get into, then yeah, like pop off. I think that if you're passionate about it, if you're committed, then you'll be successful. Okay. How long did it take to start seeing income? So my first weekend, I think I brought in like $400. It was when I was still living, I had just moved from Kentucky. I was living with my mom for a while before I moved to San Diego. And she and her boyfriend went away for like 3 days. And I had a 9-to-5, like a vanilla job at the time. So when I came back, I just like streamed. And I streamed for like a long time, like probably like 8 hours every day. And I was able to bring in $400 for those first 3 days. Again, you can go and watch my video on how I got started in camming. It was very like, I wasn't taking it that seriously. I didn't think that it would be something that I would do full time. And I think that was like the best thing for me because there wasn't a lot of expectations. So it's hard to tell because I was just doing it for an hour or two at night. I didn't even show my face then, and it was just a form of passive income. So I think like maybe monthly I was bringing in like $300 to $400. But if I had the house to myself, I was able to bring in a couple hundred, maybe even if it was just like 200. But when I got started streaming, when I first moved to the Airbnb, when I moved to San Diego, I was like doing like 10 hours a day, and I was streaming almost every day. Like I remember I would fall asleep on cam. That's how hard I was working. So, you know, I was just getting after it. I don't really know. It was kind of like I'm either going to make it or I'm going to move back home, and I didn't want to move back home. So was it easy or hard for you to set up your account? Setting up my account has always been super easy. If you're having a hard time with anything when trying to verify, I've always had a hard time getting verified, especially specifically with OnlyFans when I have my glasses on. They don't want to see like any reflection. So if you all are wearing glasses, make sure you take your glasses off. Make sure that everything is in focus. Make sure that your handwriting is legible, readable. yeah, but I've never had a hard time setting up my account. I recently had to put in my new ID because my other one expired, and it was really easy. I've never struggled with that. So if you are, just email customer service. They'll usually tell you what's wrong with like your photo, or if it's something's not working. And if they're not being specific enough, like ask. Like I had a problem with OnlyFans when I was asking for my tax refund, my tax documents, and I sent them probably like 3 different photos, and they kept saying that it wasn't like one of them was blurry. And I'm like, well, you're asking me to have my face in cam and this photo and my ID. Like, what are you talking about? And then I basically just said, I've never had this problem with verifying with you before. I need you to send me specific details and images of how you want me to take this photo so that I can get approved. And the next day, they sent me my tax document. So yeah, I would just like challenge them, just be like, hey, then send me photos and examples of exactly, since this is such a problem, and see what they say from that. Do I recommend copywriting stuff? Yes, and I'm very shit at this. I need to like put something on my stream to copyright it. It's hard because I haven't had my OnlyFans stuff leaked. Obviously they have the copyright immediately with anything that you post on OnlyFans. That is going to be at the bottom of your photo, but they can always like crop that out. I noticed when I had all my socials and stuff on when I was streaming, like my OnlyFans, my Fansly, and all my social media, and I had it big enough in the corner that it would be cropped weird if someone tried to take my content and repost it somewhere. I found that a lot of that, my content wasn't getting leaked before. So definitely put your content, copyright your content, make sure that you have it tagged where you can see your name somewhere. You can do cam model protection, which I've talked about in a previous video. I think it's like $300 to $400 a month for them to take down your content. So if that's something you want to invest in, then go for it. If that's not, then you can make sure that your tag is on there, specifically somewhere in the middle of your stream, so it can't be cropped out. And yeah, at least if it gets leaked, you are getting advertisement. So how do you protect yourself when being stolen? I don't. Put your tag. Your stuff is going to get leaked. Like especially if you're streaming, it's going to get leaked. That's something that I'll worry about when I can invest more money into it, but I'm not tripping over it. I'll definitely need to put like a tag in the middle of my stream. I'm gonna start doing that. But yeah, I don't. I'm not the girl to comment that. Again, you can pay someone to do it. It is illegal for people to do that, but I'm just not educated on it, besides the cam model protection and just making sure that your photos and everything are labeled. I have had some people take my photos and make Instagrams and then block me and then DM all my followers to try and make it seem like I'm the one personally reaching out to them. I've had that happen like 2 or 3 times. My followers always notify me, and it usually never gets anywhere because I just constantly post that I'll never reach out to you. And then everyone kind of starts to get the hint. But honestly, if someone is getting scammed because a sex worker is reaching out to them, I'm sorry, you're kind of a dumbass. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to be mean, but people who are reaching out to you and asking for money and you're doing it, then you're SOL. How do you keep chats and tips when multi-streaming? So I have just multiple browsers put up. I don't know of a program that will allow you to funnel all your chats into one spot so you can see them all. If you're having a hard time multi-streaming and keeping up, then I would suggest not multi-streaming, because you do want the quality of your stream to be better than being like overwhelmed, you know? I never, like, there are points where I'm definitely can be busy, but I'm pretty good at just like messaging people and keeping things up, making sure that I'm talking to people. That kind of also goes into the next thing of like what to do when you're streaming, and especially if you have a long stream, like an 8-hour stream, and you're just bored. Like, yeah, sometimes it's just gonna be fucking boring, you know? I will sometimes, if I'm been on for a couple of hours and I'm starting to kind of like get tired, I'll just go through my OnlyFans messages and start answering some DMs. And I'll still have like the chat where I can see it in case someone talks, but yeah, there's going to be moments like that when chat's boring. You can also try unmuting grays if you just want to have a little bit more of a conversation if you have grays muted. I enjoy talking to some of my gray users. Not all of them are, you know, going to spam me and ask to see my tits or something. You can also just always like get up and dance. You can, there's a lot of different things that you can do. Like sometimes I'll log on and be like, wow, it's a really slow day, like I'm still gonna want to stream, but I'm just gonna go paint while I do it. And sometimes it picks up and sometimes it's just a slow day, but dry days are very real. I don't think that a lot of sex workers talk about it, but there are going to be days where you're just not going to make a lot of money and it's going to fucking suck. And then there are going to be days where you're just like, okay, everything's going good. Like I just made a shit ton of money today, and it's like that consistently and you feel really good. And then you're going to have a week that's super dry and you're going to hate your life again. But just know that it's normal. It's normal, and that's why it's really important to make sure we're saving, making sure that we are putting away money for a rainy day. I logged on to American Express and I made an account, and I have money transfer out of my account every Monday and Friday, so I don't even have to worry about it. That's money that's already gone, and I don't care if it's just $5. I don't care if it's just $2. Make sure you're putting money away that you can fall back on, because I promise you, you will not regret it ever having money in your savings. And it's not money that's gone, it's just money that's moved. So it is like kind of like a mental thing that you have to rewire and retrain yourself. But yeah, even if you're able to do like a couple hundred, which you should be anyway for taxes, like even if you can't put that much into your savings and you're taking a couple hundred a week just for taxes, I mean, and you have to use it, like that sucks, but at least it's there, you know? Especially in today's times, like everything's so expensive. Existing as a human is really fucking hard. So just do what you can. Why haven't I tried Streamy or Live Jasmine? I just haven't. There's a lot of streaming sites. I think it's kind of, this question wasn't shaming, but like I had a woman that I had to block who commented like, why don't you just go onto the sites where you only are nude when they take you private, but like you're not allowed to be nude in like the public stream, like have some class. Like I just think the shaming is really lame. To log on to a new site, to commit to a new site, especially when I found one that's already given me some success, it's like, it's just not the way that I want to use my time or my energy. So I just haven't. I mean, maybe in the future I will, but yeah, I just haven't. I would be intrigued in like the sites where you can't be nude in the public chat, I would be open to trying that. I just haven't. I don't know. And how do I live stream when I go private? So because I multi-stream and because like I can still be sent to private on my free cams or Chatterbait, I just log off. So if someone wants to take me to private on my free cams, it's of course they have to pre-tip, because you can't have a minimum amount. So you can't, like Chatterbait, you can set a minimum amount that someone has to keep you in private. My free cams is not like that. So I have them pre-tip, and once they pre-tip, they go ahead and start the true private, and then they're in there with me for 10 minutes. And I never have people who cut me short on my 10 minutes because I usually have them pre-tip. I don't really have a problem with that. I did before when I didn't have them pre-tip, but since they're already investing like 400 to 500 tokens to just go into private with me, they usually always follow through, and if they don't, I lifetime ban them. They're never allowed back in my room. And so yeah, I just close out a Chatterbait and I go on my private, and then when I'm done, I take care of myself and then I just log back on, and vice versa. If someone takes me to private on Chatterbait, then I close out on my free cams. And yeah, so that's why I always keep my privates more on the expensive side, because I am logging out. I am going to have to restart my stream and rebuild my viewership, and yeah, you just want to make sure that you're getting reimbursed for that and making it worth your money and your time. So those are all the questions that I had. If you have any more, we can do another one of these. You can comment down below, and like some of them I'll answer, but these were just like a little too long to type out, and I didn't want to type out. And some of them I have gone over in other videos, which they just weren't videos solely specifically about it, so I just kind of wanted to address some of these. And I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.